expand a little bit on my background and how it's kind of led me into what I'm going to talk with you guys about today. And so I'll touch on that, and then I'd like to kind of really cut it short. Like, it's pretty, if you could flag me at 20, because we have 45 minutes?
However.
About an hour. Okay, so I'll cut it short because this is a pretty diverse group, and everyone's kind of in different levels of understanding social media, marketing, personal branding. So I'd really like to give as much value as possible with me here. So we'll do a lot more kind of Q&A stuff here towards the end. But so, like she said, like Joan said, I was born and raised here in Fort Collins. Went to Rocky Mountain High School. You guys know Rocky. Played football there and was always really involved in my kind of always building my personal brand from a young age. Started with being a president of our DECA and FBLA club. Did a lot of fundraising stuff, from Cans Around the Oval, the hair raiser for cancer. Did a talent show at the school, which I organized and led to raise funds for March of Dimes, I believe it was. And I just loved it. Like, I've always been really passionate about sales, marketing, business, of course, with both of my parents' backgrounds. And so I moved down to Denver about 5 years ago to earn my marketing degree. Just wrapping that up this May. Probably a degree that should only take about 2.5, 3 years. So finally wrapping that up, and I've been really involved in a lot of interesting ways in the world of sales and marketing. I've had some really interesting jobs, like she said. One of the real ones that stood out in my mind that was the most difficult but will always provide me the most value in my life, and that was going door to door for over 2 years. Are you guys familiar with Renewal by Anderson Windows? Yeah? I'm sure I've probably pissed you off at your doorstep. I've probably upset about 3/4 of all homeowners in Colorado before. So, and now it's really interesting doing much more professional style business. I'm like, did I ever upset you? I'm not sure. So that was really interesting experience. And guys, I've been through it all. Have you guys, anyone's been door to door before? Done cold calling before?
Of course.
Like, okay. So, I've had the cops called on me. I've been shoved down doorsteps by a guy with a baby in his arms. I've had my pants eaten by the neighborhood dog. And one particular scenario that really, really stood out to me, I was in Aurora, I believe, just like a normal suburban neighborhood. And I walk up to this house, and I see this sign, just doing my normal thing, and I see a sign on the side that says, "Beware, a family of nudists live here." Yeah. So I am like, oh, that's cute. That's, Mom went to Hobby Lobby and got a nice sign. And so go up to the door. And this guy, no joke, comes walking up, butt naked, right to the door. Yeah. So that was pretty horrifying. I have a lot of respect for what you guys do, because I'm absolutely, what's that?
Scarred for life.
Scarred for life. I have a lot of respect for what you guys do, because I'm terrified of homeowners now. But, and the worst part was, this guy wasn't even that friendly. And, I probably should have used a thing that looks like it's a little breezy in there. And he turned around and walked away, and so that was that. But I learned a lot of really interesting things. I had a lot of great success there. I was very good at it, though. I knew immediately how to start engaging people while I'm at the doorstep with them, getting them to vent their problems to me and have conversations with me. So I had a lot of success there. I was promoted in to run the events marketing team, so I co-led and managed the event marketing team there. We did tons of stuff, a lot of beer festivals, if you would imagine, being in Colorado. We did over 800 events alone here in the state in that year. And I was training sales reps that were anywhere from 18 to age 60. So I was training sales folks that were 3 times my age, and I was there for about a year and a half, helped take that department from 4.5 to 10.8 million in that year and a half. And within that time frame, I was softly working with my dad in the background and helping with his marketing agency, which is here in town. It's been here for 17 years. And so I transitioned into that right around last summer, about a year ago. And I'm thinking, how can I build this business? How can I create that same sales and marketing machine of which I had witnessed at Renewal by Anderson? So what's really interesting to me is there's a lot of scenarios where I would go to somebody's doorstep and do my pitch. Hi, I'm Connor from Renewal by Anderson. How you doing? And the person would go, dude, you guys have been here 12 times in the last 2 weeks. What's going on? But you know what? I saw you guys at the Home and Garden Show last week, and I saw your blog post on Facebook talking about your energy saving product, and I got your emails, and come to think of it, I did get a discount in the mail from you. You know what? Why don't we set up an appointment, come down to my, come give me a price quote. I'm like, wow, this guy saw us, our company, show up 10, 15, 16 times before he decided to finally engage with us. We've been showing up as other people just like me. I mean, I'm pretty good at it, but I could have been the one to turn him over. A lot of people, and so he's just seen us showing up. So I'm like, how can I replicate this? How can I use social media and all the other traditional methods that you as real estate agents are hopefully actively using to generate new business opportunities, right? So around that time when I came in, I started testing, and I did a lot of stuff on LinkedIn. I'm sure all of you guys have heard social media marketing, and the way a lot of experts kind of make it seem is like, you hack this thing and you can sit back and just roll in the dough and you're just making money every single day because you have a presence on social media. And that's not the case. So I started really pushing a lot of that energy and kind of omnipresence, and I started getting really good results. We started quadrupling the amount of leads, the amount of sales that were coming in the door within a short couple of months. And within the last couple of months, I really started researching this stuff and trying to reverse engineer what is it that I've uncovered here. How am I generating sales by building my personal brand on social media? And so this is called social selling. And a lot of you guys maybe just glazed over because you're like, I still am trying to understand social media marketing. But social selling, the difference between the two, social selling is an all-encompassing type activity. So it takes a combination of old school business strategies that we've built companies on for the past 100 years, person to person, networking, referrals, and new age strategies of combining social media marketing. There's a lot of, now that we've kind of been involved in this stuff for a couple years, there's a lot of interesting stats to support why you should be adopting a social selling mindset. Why should I be implementing this? You guys are all entrepreneurs. Why should I be implementing this into my business? 57% of the buyer's journey takes place before a sales professional gets involved. For you guys, I would venture to guess it's probably a little higher than that even. Would you agree?
Yes.
Most people don't talk to a sales rep till they're looking on social media, they're Googling, they're trying to, they have all the resources. So that buyer funnel is now flipped on its head where 80% of the folks that you guys are selling to, you guys used to have 80% of that relationship, of the power in that relationship. You had 80% of that knowledge. Now you guys have 20% of that power and that knowledge. Everyone else is doing 80% of that research beforehand. Social sellers surpass quota 23% more often. I think it's higher than that. If you really, really adopt these strategies and take some of this stuff away, I've seen numerous. I'm actually writing a whole research paper on this to be academically published, and there are there's even cases where, sales reps are far surpassing quota compared to their colleagues. Building your personal brand, putting you in a position to be a thought leader, an educator, someone that has clout in your space. How many real estate agents do you think are in Colorado alone?
I think is it 8,000? Is that right?
8,000.
8,000 something?
How about
8,000.
Northern Colorado?
How do you stand out from 8,000 different people doing exactly the same thing that you're doing?
I spit.
You spit? Yeah, spit. You guys, it's building your personal brand. That's what it is now. Building your personal brand on social media. And some of you may not be in this position. You may not be agents for the rest of your life. So what you're doing now could potentially be temporary, but building your personal brand and creating actual infrastructure and content around yourself, that lasts forever. That's there, okay? So if you're ever going to pursue other opportunities that are, whatever that means for you, this is going to be kind of like that trampoline to help you get to that next step. And I'll explain kind of what I mean by that. I didn't say best practices once yet.
No, you didn't.
We had a game that I was supposed to say best practices because it's one of the better terms for agents, and I failed. I'm sorry. So there's something I'd really like to emphasize here, and I don't think a lot of social media gurus or people that talk social media marketing, this is not something that they're telling you, but this is not the end-all, be-all of all marketing strategies. This isn't the quick fix. This isn't the faucet. You can't sit back and start closing more deals as a result of this. But it is really the missing piece of the social media marketing puzzle. I am a young 23-year-old millennial dude, and I still pick up the phone and cold call. I still go to networking events. I still write hand notes to my clients and send them out. I'm still doing conferences and speaking and stuff like that. Combined with social is what will allow you, bringing in the right infrastructure on social is what will allow you to capitalize on those activities that hopefully most of you are doing, right? Referral, you gave me the book Referral by Buffini. You guys have read that book, right? Or what is it? Work by referral. So that's something I really like to emphasize. Don't think this is a magic bullet or anything like that. This is practical, but it takes work. It's not easy. And so there are in trying to adopt this strategy, there's 4 best practices to implementing social selling. Messaging, engagement, content, and consistency. Those are the 4 key pillars. Super simple. And I'm going to expand upon these and go in depth and give some case studies. And then at the end, we can kind of hone in and figure out what that particular scenario would look like for you guys, right? So messaging is common sense. It's one of the most important things to setting up a website, social media, your content. Do you guys have personal websites? Mm-hmm. You'll do all of, raise your hand if you have a personal website.
Everybody does with Remax. I mean,
oh, really?
Remax you get.
You mean business or personal?
It could be, is it all like Remax geared, or is it a personal I like Cat's blog?
It's Remax geared.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is where people, and I consult with these companies that are doing $200 million a year, and they're still not hitting the mark on this. It's because we get so close to what it is we do. A lot of the time, it's hard to convey that to other people, but messaging is extremely important. And I'm, in this particular scenario, website for you guys, your website messaging, and your social media profiles. All your social media. Raise your hand if you don't have a social media profile. Great. And you probably, if you didn't, then you probably, I just kind of called you out there. Okay, so 90% of people that are trying to market themselves, market their business on social media, they're doing it wrong. Let's take LinkedIn, for example. How many people have a LinkedIn page? Okay. So 90% of people are structuring their social media pages as if it's a digital resume, right? The way you should be looking at this is as if it's a landing page for your business. Do you guys all know what a landing page is? Okay. So when somebody comes to your profile, they should be able to find out how you can help them, not what it is you do. What do you do? What's your job?
Help people buy and sell homes.
Perfect. I bet your social media page doesn't say that.
Probably not.
Right. Probably says real estate agent, right?
Probably.
Right. So that's my point. You may, your strategy may be a little different than other agents. Maybe you're trying to market and partner up with other folks in the home improvement business. And so you're trying to market and engage and build an audience there. Your messaging should be something like, I help contractors with increased revenue with real estate referrals or something like that. I don't know what the particular case is. But the point is, I like what you said, I help people find the dream of their homes. Find your unique space and talk about that. My LinkedIn profile says, I help IT and telecom companies increase sales with social selling and marketing. It doesn't say marketing strategist at Active Blogs, because who cares? Nobody does. They want to know how you can help them. So start looking more at your website on all platforms. LinkedIn, your LinkedIn is a little bit different than LinkedIn's a little bit different than Facebook or Instagram. So your messaging should kind of be similar across and resonate. So and different people are coming to check you out, they can understand what it is you do, but make sure it's targeted towards your audience. I can't emphasize that enough. Not enough. There are 8,000 real estate agents in all of Colorado. How do you separate yourself? Messaging. So the very second best practice for implementing this stuff is engagement. Social, we're no longer social. We don't talk to each other anymore. Guys, social media allows you to be social at scale to everybody here. On the engagement side, people that you're already connected with, you're already familiar with, within your immediate network, right? I'm sure you're immediately, thank you. I'm sure you're immediately connected with people that you know, right? Well, what good is that? We want outside attention. We want people that are not in our network. We want people that don't know about us yet, but we can provide value for them, and they're going to come buy a house from me 2 years down the road. So how do you do this? Let's take Instagram, for example. And by the way, if I was a real estate agent, I would be on Instagram 100%, using Instagram every single day. We can talk more about that at the end, but you can literally go to the search function on Instagram, look up Fort Collins, find people that are tagging and hashtagging and using Fort Collins attached to their content, and go engage with them. Go provide value for them. Go leave some comments, go like, go follow them. You don't have to know someone to go engage. You'd be very, very surprised. My 4,000 person network of LinkedIn that's built up over the last 9 months, I probably only personally know 100 people in that, right? So we have to get those outside eyeballs on ourselves, get the attention going, because that is how you're going to bring new opportunities in the door, talking to people that you wouldn't be otherwise. So going to that search function, engaging, getting people connected, people that are in your immediate network, give them some love, give them some love, give them some likes, give them some comments. Here's why also. this is an exponential activity. I posted something on LinkedIn 4 weeks ago, and it went viral in some sense. So I had 15,000 eyeballs outside of my immediate network looking at that post, outside of my network. I didn't pay to promote that. It was a good piece of content. I posted it, people were liking it, and then people outside of the network could see that. You have to take that same mentality of that snowball effect, the exponential activity of posting content, because again, getting the outside eyeballs is going to make or break what it is you're trying to accomplish on social media.
What did you post?
I believe I was posting a couple different graphic images on I know, it's super, well, it's funny, because it was like super nonchalant, like, we'll talk about this too, I do a lot of different styles of content, and it just, within a couple days, like, went, and it wasn't even like, I'm like, really? Like, this isn't that impressive. But what it was is, I was asking for feedback on something. I was asking, can you guys give me feedback on these logos I'm working on? And it just...
Oh, so not graphic.
Graphic.
That's better. Graphic.
Wait, how did you misconstrue graphic?
Like
Something bad, like.
graphic.
Oh, no. It wasn't like me. No, it wasn't like me like murdering someone on Facebook Live like we've been seeing go.
We're all like,
none of that. I keep that stuff private. I keep that stuff private at least. No, so that's my point is as you start pushing this stuff out here and you start getting a little bit reciprocated, it's not going to be immediate. This takes time, guys, but as you start getting some of that reciprocated. I said it the first time. It just continues to build on itself. So, engagement. That needs to be consistent every day. Whether you do it, you have your 13-year-old daughter do it for you. Find someone to do it. I'm sure your 13-year-old daughter may even be able to do it better than you, right? Content. Having now your profile's set up properly, your website looks good, your messaging's all there, you're bringing audiences to get eyeballs on you, outside folks. Having all of that without content into the mix is like having a really sexy car and not putting any gas in it. So content is what's going to continue to fuel those conversations for you. And there's really 3 types of content that, as real estate agents, you should be producing every single day. If you can't produce it every single day, or at least a few times a week, find someone that can do it for you. Storytelling is number 1, and I'll explain. So I have 2 different vlogs that I produce. One of them is called Digital Ideas. One of them is my own personal vlog, and in that personal one, I'm doing a lot of storytelling. I'm not promoting anything. I'm not talking about sales, marketing, the stuff, my usual spiel. I am literally documenting. I'm documenting I've documented several episodes up to doing this talk for you guys and been talking about it. And oh man, I lost that deal today, but we're still going. So this is important because who has the majority of the buying power right now for houses? Who's the largest demographic?
Hold on.
What do millennials buy more than anything? Over value, over products, over technology, over lifestyle, stories, stuff with substance behind it. And the generation before, it's flipped again. So the generation before is able to do a lot more marketing style, promotional. You have to have that story backing what you're doing, or you're not going to have interest in what it is that you're doing. Does that make sense? People want to see the story just as much as they want to know how you can help them. So storytelling, educational, that's where I do digital ideas, and that can be five traits a home buyer should look for in a real estate agent. That's educational. Educational, informative, you're providing value, you're not asking for anything, you're giving knowledge and providing the tools for people to do this on their own. They can go purchase homes on their own, but they love you so much for giving them value, they'd rather go have you help them because you have all the expertise, right? Number 3, actionable. This should be about 85% of what you're producing. This should be about 15%. Actionable is where you're giving an ask. You're saying, hey, register here to come to my networking event in Fort Collins. Or download this resource, download this white paper, opt in for this, purchase this book from this $10 ebook or something like that. That is actionable. Do you guys understand the difference between the two and why it's important to have this on the forefront of everything and this kind of towards the tail end? Okay? And then find your medium. Not everyone's good at being on video. That just happens to be how I communicate best. For you, it might be podcasting, images, maybe you're good at graphics, maybe you're good at writing. Oh my God, we're going down the graphics route again, I know. Graphics, not graphic. So find your medium, like figure out what is it that you're able to produce on. This should be a salad bowl, like a salad bowl mix between personal content that's coming from you, and then maybe outside resources. I'm sure that Remax over there, how many years? A lot of years. Remax over the years probably has a lot of collateral, videos, documents, stuff that you can be sharing with folks that you're working with, right? So kind of a salad bowl mix. And again, why would you not, if you don't have the time for this, like most of us don't, why would you not invest to have someone help you create this content, and you can get it done more consistently and get it done effectively? I would, why not invest 20 grand to hire an intern to do this so you can make $250 in 2 years as a direct result of what's happening here, right? It's an investment mindset, but it's long term. It's not something that's short. Okay. I think I covered everything. And then last, consistency. You have to go back to that example I talked about in the very beginning. That guy saw me and us, our company, 15 times before he decided he wanted to do business with us. 15 times. It's no different. Think of how bombarded we are with social media and with TV, and the kids are screaming in the background, and you're on your laptop, and you're trying to eat dinner at the same time while texting your girlfriends about what's going on later on, right? There's a lot of stuff going on. To be able to attract that attention, you have to consistently have a stream. You have to be showing up all the time. It's not easy, guys. It's tough. It's very tough. This is why most people don't succeed in doing this. But you have to consistently be showing up. And it, like I mentioned, it's a snowball effect. Once you get rolling and going on it, it just builds and builds. It's going to start slow. If you walk away today and start implementing this stuff this afternoon, don't expect anything for 12 months of this. 12 months down the road, that's when you're going to really starting to get results. Anything short of that, it's too soon to say, oh, this isn't working. It's a long-term game. There's so much out there, so people need to see you. One thing that really holds a lot of my peers back, and I'm sure other folks as well, is you'll post something on Facebook or LinkedIn, and you got nothing. Like you didn't get a like, you didn't get a comment, or you didn't, and you're going, you're like, what the hell? Come on, dude! Like that was great, like that was funny, and okay, so this is what I've found over doing this the last year. This is what I found that's really fascinating to me. Content engagement doesn't equal ROI on what it is you're producing. It doesn't mean anything if people aren't liking your content or sharing or commenting. It doesn't mean it's good. Doesn't mean it's bad. There's other ways to figure that out. But it's about showing up. It's about impressions. Here's an interesting case on this. So LinkedIn is kind of my core platform because I'm mainly in B2B marketing. That's where my focus is. So I'm using LinkedIn, and I'm posting my videos, my digital ideas episodes on there, and I had someone reach out, say, hey, I've been watching your vlogs. I really like what you're doing. Can we, talk? I want to see if you can help me out at all. And we're on the phone. He's like, yeah, I've seen every single one of your vlogs. They're all great. They're all providing lots of value. And I'm like, dude, I haven't seen you one time like, comment, share, post, give me any feedback on the web on those vlogs. But he saw me showing up. He saw them. He watched them. And I did a sales presentation for him. I did a demo for him, and he disappeared on me. You guys know how they went cold. They're gone, baby. And he went cold for about 4 months on me, completely out of the blue. And then so I'm still, doing my thing, marketing every single day, posting on LinkedIn. He comes back to me just last month, actually, early last month. Hey, I saw some of your more recent videos. You know what? I do want to do this, signed off on the contract, and we're in business together now. So consistency, content, engagement, my messaging, all of that has directly resulted in sales. And I've only been really, really pursuing this since June of last year, really, is when I've kind of gotten the cadence going after I figured it out. And in that, how much time we got? What time is it?
Well, you're at 30 minutes.
Okay. In that amount of time, I've quadrupled the amount of leads coming in our business. I've tripled the volume of sales. I did my first talk for the Denver Digital Marketing Group in December. I've been featured on other podcasts. I've had people reaching out to me for other collaborations. I've made some incredible relationships with people that I wouldn't know otherwise without me putting my digital energy out there. I had a producer come across some of my content, say, hey, I like what you're doing. Let's talk about, producing a show. He's in Denver, so we're actually producing a television show in Denver. It's called Mile High Mentors. So if you follow me on social, you'll get some more info on that. And I would not be here standing in front of you today if it wasn't a direct result of these activities. So it works. It feels very awkward and crappy at first. But if there's anything that you guys have questions on, or you would like help or feedback, you can always reach me on social. I'll pull that back up when we're doing the Q&A and stuff. Let me go to the last page here. We'll end it with that. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Put all your social
Yes.
media back up?
Yeah, I want to take questions and stuff like that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Are you going to put all your social
Yeah,
media?
I'll put all that back up. What in here was really something that you want more refinement on in your particular scenario?
So personally, go ahead. No, you're good. Go ahead. Personally, so I.
Do you want to fight out?
hire-
We can throw it down.
I did hire a college.
I'm sorry,
student-
what's your name?
Christine.
Christine Connor, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I hired a college student to help me, who's a business marketing
Ah.
major at CSU, and it just hasn't gone as well as I was hoping. Like I was hoping he'd be all over it. So how would you recommend finding a company or somebody to do this? Because seriously, to me, it's like I have no interest in it. I don't want to have to engage with it. I do boost a lot of stuff on
Let me
it.
ask you something. Do you have an interest in bringing new sales in later on down the road?
Of course I do.
Then you have an interest in
But
this.
I'm very intimidated by the internet.
I know, right? And most people are. I'm a young dude. Like I'm a young millennial. I avoided this all my life. Like I hated people taking pictures of me, being caught on camera. I hated it. But it's the same as breaking any new habit, like going to the gym. You start doing it, little bits and pieces at a time, and then it just builds on itself, and you create those habits that allow you to do it. But let me ask you this: what was he doing for you that you weren't getting
So
results from?
he's helping me all over with all of our marketing, but we worked on a couple of my listings. We boosted and made sure that it got out there off my Remax page, off my Facebook page.
Right.
And I got really good, I got really good hits, and then I also got interactions on those hits, or whatever that means. So good things happened, and it was really nerve-wracking to do, because he's like, okay, this is what you do. I just really want to find somebody who can really get it started and then fine-tune it and say, this is what you need to do to maintain this, this is, do this, this, and this. But I really want my hand held through the whole process until it gets up and running.
Right.
I know, because it's overwhelming. I only do Facebook, and that isn't enough,
Right.
probably, in this day.
See, guys, Facebook is getting noisy. Facebook is going to the big brands now. LinkedIn and Instagram are the two. I would still use Facebook, but if I was really capitalizing and going all in on two platforms, I would pick LinkedIn and I would pick Instagram.
What's the best way how can you best utilize Instagram?
Well, hold on. Let me get back to hers
Okay.
real quick.
Okay.
That's the first thing I would do. I would go start building a presence on other platforms. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. It's the same as in any investment. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. But each platform is different. I really like the functionality of Instagram because, like I said, you can literally go look at hashtags, and you don't have to pay. You don't have to. This is free, guys. This is free stuff. I don't pay for ads. I don't. I'm a horrible marketer. I don't pay for ads. You can do all this for free by using search function. And by the way, all social media platforms are search engines. They're just more on the micro. So you can go there, look up Fort Collins, look up I'm buying a home, seeking new homes, and start in for an hour when you're sitting in front of the TV at the end of the day, go engage with the people that are on there, and it's right here. It's terrifying and it's weird and it's awkward, like I said. But once you get that habit going, you'll get there. Okay, and you can always reach out on social. I'll give you some actual strategies and stuff that you
Well,
can
and
put
people
together.
that do this for a living, I know you do it, but I don't know if that's what you're doing solely, but people like you who want to be hired, by people like us.
Once we hire
So,
people. Right.
yeah,
To create and do all of it, so.
Do it
I see what you're saying. But what I'm doing, again, what I'm doing, a 15-year-old could do it. Maybe not the content creation. And that's not intended to be offensive towards you. My point is that I'm saying, as far as the workload goes and being able to organically start getting eyeballs on your stuff, you can hire a young person to do it, but giving them the right strategy is what they would need. So they need instruction, but once they have the right instruction, then they can go do it. You don't have to hire me to do it for you.
But she's
So
talking
how do
about
you get the right
content
instruction?
and.
The content, is that what you're referring to?
I get the content. Whatever I'm reading, whatever, and I'm not a blogger, that's for darn sure. I'm not gonna put my face all over, but
You're a video person.
I'm not.
You should try it though.
You should try it. You guys go back, look on YouTube, go look at my old stuff on YouTube. My very first video was shit. It was horrible. I was so awkward and felt very weird doing it. And I didn't care. I was just like, I'm gonna do it. And I kept doing it. I kept doing it. I kept doing it. And eventually I don't even notice it anymore. It doesn't even bother me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get content. I think what I need is the instructional basis. I need that to start, and then I've got a 16-year-old that might help me.
Yeah. Well, maybe after this, I'll go and produce some sort of vlog or something which can talk about I'll talk specifically towards Instagram or whatever. For an hour a day, here's what you do: log in, Bing, post content, do this. use these hashtags when you're
What does
posting.
hashtag booming?
Yes.
See?
I know. So
I'm sorry, I don't.
I don't know
no, that's
either,
fair.
Christine.
My mom didn't even know. Joan didn't even know what hashtags were.
I still don't.
What is it?
I
What does it stand for?
Okay, think of it like this. It's basically like a geolocation tag,
What's that?
but for content. Do you know what a if someone posts on Facebook and they say
Sabra, do you know?
Fort Collins, Colorado, they tag that location.
Right.
Well, when you're posting content and other people are posting content, they're using other hashtags in their posts and everything like that. And so if they're using Fort Collins, you can go search in the search bar, hashtag Fort Collins, and see all the posts that were hashtagged in Fort Collins. So it's basically like a way to gain outside audiences for you and find your own audience as well.
So if they have a hashtag in front of it, it kind of categorizes.
Correct.
I'll show you. I can't pull up. I would love to pull my cell phone up, but I can show you after the talk or whatever. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've seen it plenty. I just never knew. I'm like, why?
Right.
Right.
Seeing it and using it effectively are two different things.
Joan,
And
you should hire him to do a class.
Well, I didn't hire him, but he.
wait, these guys get paid?
Thanks, Heather.
Hire him to do a class for all these guys,
Cause you know what a
I
hashtag
know
is.
it all, but most people don't.
Right.
All of that, and if they really did do something about it, I think it would just really help.
Do you have a result from your hashtag?
Absolutely.
You
yeah.
do?
Yeah. Absolutely. Anything I can think of that would get somebody to look at it, and then people engage, they like, the mailers you had me put
Yeah.
out? So I posted that, and I said, who wants something free once a month?
There you
And I
go.
put all these hashtags on it, I have all these people yeah,
Really?
yeah,
So-
that's on my Instagram.
Now, are you using 15 hashtags?
Not using 15.
Okay, so here's the secret. Here's the secret. 15, exactly 15. It's the way that okay, I'll take a step back. All platforms have algorithms that categorize and prioritize your content differently. So Instagram in particular, when you're using 15 hashtags in the comments section, so make your post it, go to your comments on that post your 15 hashtags there, and you're gonna drive more traffic because it's gonna rank higher.
So what if you make a mistake? Like my daughter just told me ... is one thing, but if you put ... it means something way more like.
I don't know about all that, but
See, I'm afraid I'm gonna totally screw up social media. Like,
You're
oh
gonna-
my gosh, they think I.
you might break social media. If you do, then sweet. I mean,
I won't break it. I just
I'm
wanna
all
break my
for
reputation.
nice.
Just use your normal punctuation and you'll be
Yeah.
There you go.
good.
Yeah.
You're still fine.
You just need someone to be you online.
Yep, that's exactly.
But yeah, we'd have to get pretty granular for your particular scenario, because again, is what you're posting relevant to those audiences? You know what I mean? So, I'll take a look at what you're doing and we can make some recommendations.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Can you
I like your shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
And what was your name? And thank you for the question, by the way. I appreciate it.
Renita,
Renita, nice to meet you.
nice to meet you, Connor. Thanks for coming today.
Thanks for having me.
Can you explain a little bit more about the storytelling that millennials really like to get involved in? Because I hate storytelling.
I know.
You're
I
a
do
great
too.
storyteller. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but some of those you could put out there.
Good point, Russ. It's graphic.
I do too. I'm such a cut and dry type person, really. Like I do too. Like I would rather just get to the point. But I'm sorry. Clarify you're asking what's the thing about it? Like why?
Well, no, what I'm saying is explain what storytelling means.
Okay.
Because I don't understand that, I guess.
That would draw you to go, oh.
Yeah. So storytelling is more documenting than formally creating something. So if I were telling a story about how I I just got this talk, and I posted this post on Facebook, and someone from the Remax office saw it, and they were interested in having me come in and speak with all of you guys. That was just me telling you a story. Now the actual content, this is me actually giving you the content. So I'm not telling a story, I'm giving you the meat and potatoes. Does that make sense? That was a little obscure.
No, it doesn't make
That was a little obscure. Okay,
Yesterday I had a great meeting at Remax.
Right.
And now I've met 30 awesome new people.
You've seen promotional content, and I use an example as like 5 ways homebuyers can select the right agent, right? That's an educational piece of content. Storytelling is how I selected the right agent. Does that make sense? What was the events that led up to me selecting the right agent? So it's more
A first person perspective.
Yes.
It's more a story and a story about how to get something done or how something's gonna benefit you.
Just documenting.
Is that
Like
right?
literally
Is that how
Snapchat
it
is great. Yeah, I mean like just literally documenting what you're doing. Telling the story of you're an agent, so as you're going along your day, you'd have your phone. Okay, so now I'm going to do a showing today, about to show this beautiful home. Here's a little snapshot of this. And I just got back from lunch, had this incredible, if you get a chance, by the way, you're in Fort Collins, go try out the the grill. That's storytelling. That's documenting what's happening. You have a media, everyone in this room has a media device in their pocket. There's no barrier to entry to do this. You don't need a television crew to follow you around. You have it all right here. So that is documenting over creating, whether it's podcast form, your audio, your recording what you're doing, or you're showing visuals of your day and stuff like that. But to reverse engineer your question, millennials, we've been hammered by big brands for years. From young kids, we've been very hammered by big brands, and we now crave relationships and substance in what we're purchasing much more than the boomers and the Xers. So that's why storytelling is important, because we're more tied and engaged with you. And you're still shaking your head.
I never post on Facebook.
Right.
But I get on, if I have an account or whatever, I get on there and see what other people are doing. But I go crazy when I see somebody that just checked in somewhere. Yeah. Who cares?
Right. So for that reason.
That's not content.
Right. So for that reason.
But that's storytelling. That's
No.
what I'm saying. And I'm like, I cannot believe that there are people that are unfamiliar to me out there that I'm trying to attract, that are gonna actually give a shit if I went and had a beer somewhere.
Right. Now.
But is your Facebook page a personal page though, or a business page?
I'll let them do
Yeah, see, that's kind of the difference too.
Did you see a post that?
I know.
The main problem is that we have different.
Did you see the post
Mindsets.
that Ryan did
Well,
on my
we
video
have
on my
different mindsets,
Facebook?
but
Yeah.
also we work with
That
different
would be a
generations
story.
of buyers and sellers.
Yeah.
So if we are out there storytelling on something that we think is pretty cheesy, and we were working with a couple of customers that would think it's cheesy too, but we're wanting to attract millennials who might think that's great, that's I just don't like people knowing so much about my life or what I'm doing or where I'm at, and
Great,
and
then
that's
do it in a
weird to
different
us.
manner. Me, the way I do it on my personal blog is I'll just get some snapshots of throughout the day, and I'll bundle that. I'm not checking in on Facebook and I'm having a beer here. Like, I bundle that into one piece. My whole entire day is bundled into a 5-minute video or a 2-minute video. And you're absolutely right. That's why I said this is only a piece of the puzzle. This is how you're going to increase your attention with millennials, especially, because that is how we purchase. That is how we and that is how we that's how we find value in who we want to do business with. The boomers and the Xers, it's different. They want different types of content, and so that's why you feed them different stuff. You know what I mean?
Sean, did you check in yet?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Who had the next question?
Well, I just
Yeah,
had a
question.
comment. Did any of you see, this was impromptu, I didn't know it was happening, but a customer that I just closed with did a testimonial and posted on my, did you guys see that?
Yes.
Did you guys, millennials, did you see that? I mean, so one, I was extremely awkward. I watched it and I'm like, oh my God, okay, could you cover my diversion or take it from a different angle? I was staring at, but I had more people calling me because this gal told a story that she was the first person in her family generation, female, to ever have a mortgage and a home in her own name. And she's a Mormon, so you know there was a lot of people in that family, but she was so excited. So to me, that, you know, it was 5 seconds and that was a story. So I don't know.
That was her so
Yeah, I
it can
see
come
that.
in different
Right.
forms.
And she did a
Yeah.
hashtag, thank God for Joan.
And
I
she
know,
now, okay, well,
I didn't know what that meant, but
That's a good thing.
I guess, so. I'm a god?
let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
No.
Maybe eventually, yes.
So, actually finding content worth sharing on Instagram, Facebook, that's just a matter of going in and putting in the search and looking for specific hashtags, looking for specific topics.
Are you referring to third-party stuff that you're not producing that you would
Yes,
like to
yes,
share
yes,
yourself?
Things, like
Yeah.
marketing.
Yeah,
pieces,
that's another great
okay.
to find third-party content, you know, real estate agents or like stuff like that. There's other people in other, you know, states producing probably some pretty good stuff that you could give credit for when you repost it. And so in social media, there's kind of that cross-pollination, and that's another way that you can get more eyeballs is sharing someone else's content, giving them credit, tagging them, giving some credit in the comments for them, and then maybe down the road they'll share some of your content and you kind of just grow your audience that way. Now again, you guys are working in Colorado and you want to be targeted, so keep that in mind. If I were hashtagging Joan is the best, it wouldn't make sense for me because who else is using the hashtag Joan is the best? Well, I mean,
I don't know.
besides those I know you, but you see my point. That's where a lot of people also kind of get tripped up, is they're hashtagging stuff that's relevant to them, but it's not relevant to their audience.
Just a quick note on that, Kashi has something that might help. Remax as well as Remax Alliance has profiles and accounts on all of these forms of social media that we've discussed and are pushing out content. So in a lot of different areas too. So even following Remax and following Remax Alliance on Instagram with those options, you might find some content that you could share from there too. Maybe not all the time, but.
And realtor.org has like super general articles on first-time home buyers, these 5 tips, you know? And I've used some of those before that may or may not be relevant.
Yeah. Yeah, I could sit and tell you what's right and what's wrong until my face is blue, but same as how I had to dive into this and anyone else, you guys can read 100 blogs, you guys can watch a bunch of talks, you can go download webinars, you can attend conferences. This cannot be taught. You have to go do it yourself because every situation is different. Everyone has their own cadence and style. Until you actually start messing around and tinkering with it, you won't know. And so you have to do that on a really consistent, ongoing basis. It sucks. I hate it. It's terrible, but you gotta do what you gotta do to stand out now, right? Maybe there'll be like a crystal ball thing in the future that's now social media and you can get attention much easier, but till then, this is how I'm gonna pursue social selling and tying in all my activity of what I'm doing. You guys are doing, if you're out and about, you're networking, add those people on social, get everybody you can engaged with you, because like I said, this is all exponential. If that person who you're engaging with's mother is going to buy a house in 2 years, and you've been showing up and marketing to them, who do you think they're going to go refer to first and have their mother go talk to? The person providing them value, right?
If you want to connect with your people though, if you see something interesting, you can summarize it in your words and then attach that piece. That's where your friends are actually going to read it and potentially share it. So it's not really that hard to do that. You guys see me do it pretty often. Just a quick few words or one sentence summary of what it is you're reposting, and then people can decide whether or not they want to reshare it.
I didn't even know I have an Instagram account. I do.
There you go. Now we have a starting place.
Why Instagram? I don't even look at Instagram.
Well, oh, why Instagram?
Yeah.
Instagram is actually. So, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no,
I'll let
it's
you
the younger generation love that part. Like,
Really?
oh yeah, that's what it is.
It's
It's
just
just pictures.
Facebook isn't cool.
It's just pictures.
Snapchat,
Hey,
Snapchat.
watch it.
Yeah, it's just like
Snapchat,
Snapchat.
what's Snapchat?
It just
Snapchat-
stay.
Yeah,
Snapchat
it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't go away.
It's like like to describe the Snapchat platform is really obscure, but it allows you to post videos or pictures for 24 hours.
Or the storylines or whatever.
Or on your story you can
Yeah.
send back and forth to people. It's kind of like IM or message, but using visuals. And so the way I use Snapchat, which now that Instagram stories is around and Facebook stories, I might abandon ship on Snapchat and capitalize on Instagram because they have the same feature. But I use that as my storytelling platform. Walking into Remax right now, about to go give my talk. You know what I mean? Simple stuff like that throughout the day.
If you have teenagers and you don't know about Snapchat, you better get informed.
Oh, well, my kids don't have
I'm not
it. I know
kidding.
that my kids have it.
Your kids have it.
They do. Seriously.
They're lying to you then.
But guys,
Sorry to
you
break
were
it to you,
asking
but-
about or someone was asking about platforms, why Instagram, why, you guys, it's attention. That's the only reason why you would go to another platform. The attention's a little harder to get on Facebook. You can get attention much easier using Instagram. Part of it has to do with their structuring, their algorithms, the way the platform's set up. Same with LinkedIn. A bunch of you guys are on LinkedIn. How many of you are using Sales Navigator? Dude. Okay.
Dude.
Okay. All right. So Sales Navigator. Now LinkedIn changed their user interface UI recently, and it's about $60 a month. But you can go to Sales Navigator, target job titles, people that are working in X industry, and as well as demographic, geographic. You can get super targeted. I bet I could probably, again, if I was an agent, that's like I would be using that, connecting with everyone I can in Colorado, and just giving my message out to them. Because again, it could be anyone at any time who's, oh, time to buy a house, right? It's so timing based. So the investment you're putting in today is going to pay off way down tomorrow, late tomorrow, but it'll pay off. I'm a young guy and I understand that long-term thinking, so I would hope that you guys really do as well.
Sales Navigator?
Sales Navigator, $60 a month, allows you all the targeted functions of LinkedIn. You can literally find anyone on there.
And Joe, just as a cheat, you can set up at least Facebook and Twitter and I think Instagram and all of that to automatically post. If you post once on Facebook, it'll go on to
It'll
the
go on.
Are you using Hootsuite?
I have no idea.
Yeah, so there's
I was wondering about that, if you have to go to all 4 places.
You really don't have to.
Yeah, if you guys are using multiple platforms, you can post to one thing. Hootsuite's great for
I think
this.
it is.
And it'll post to all your platforms, but you have to keep in mind a post on Instagram is gonna look very different than a post on Facebook. So if you're feeding at the same content, it may come out kind of crappy. You just have to figure that out. So we're starting to kind of wind down and stuff.